Look, seem like every captain gotta maintain the cap. You can make change, don't change for that.
What's up, YouTube? Today we're reviewing the 2022 Chevy Blazer RS. Huge thank you to Paul Van Horn over at Koons, Tysons, Chevy, Buick, GMC for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you guys are interested in this particular Blazer RS or any GM product with the exception of Cadillac, I'll be sure to have Paul's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. First, let's talk about the exterior and performance. And like I said, this is a 2022 Chevy Blazer RS, and this particular one is painted in black. But let's start over here at our headlights, because we do have HID headlights, and just above that we will find our LED daytime running lights. Our headlights do come with IntelliBeam, which is automatic high beams on or off. It basically turns your high beams on or off. And just below our headlights we will find our halogen turn signals. But let's take a step back and look at this big, beautiful grille that looks like it should come directly off of a Camaro. I think it looks pretty sweet on this SUV. But this is the RS signature gloss black grille with black ice header bar, which is what this is right here. You also get a black bow tie and RS badging in your grille. Looks very, very good, very, very sporty, especially considering that this is on an SUV. But continuing on down, we will find our $1,000 21-inch gloss black aluminum wheels. The RS does come standard with 20-inch wheels, but if you guys are getting the RS, you might as well upgrade for the 21s. I think they look very, very good. And they are wrapped around in a 265/45 Continental cross contact all-season tire. I'll show you guys the tread pattern on that tire here real quick. And just behind that wheel and tire setup has to do with the suspension. The Blazer RS does have RS specific suspension tuning as well as RS specific steering tuning. So it does feel a little bit sportier than the 2LT, 3LT, or Premier Blazer. And I'll talk about that when we move into the driving portion of the review. But let's talk about our mirrors here real quick, because these mirror caps are body color and they also do have an integrated turn signal. These are not power folding mirrors. However, they are heated and they are power dimming. So if you guys have somebody behind you and their high beams are on, this side view mirror will dim. The passenger side view mirror will not dim, but the driver side view mirror will dim. And you also will find your blind spot monitoring right here and your blind spot monitoring on the passenger side view mirror as well. One thing I wanted to mention is that you do have your Blazer lettering on the front two passenger doors right here, and the lettering is in black. Obviously, that is the theme of this Blazer. And if you guys do get different color Blazers, you guys still will find that lettering in black, as well as a lot of other blacked out elements on the Blazer RS. But if you guys take a look up top, you will find your black roof rails, and if you guys take a look down low, you will find your black body side moldings that look very, very good. And they do have a chrome trim piece that does go through that black body side molding, which is kind of interesting because you think that the Blazer would be fully blacked out. But there is that little chrome trim piece right there. And if you guys do not like that chrome trim piece, you guys can get that blacked out at a wrap shop. But you also do have a black window surround as well to go along with the black theme on the Blazer. One thing that I did want to mention is that the only few chrome pieces that you will find are down here, like I just pointed out, as well as the buttons for your keyless access are also in chrome. But let's open up our gas cap, because we do have a capless filler neck. 87 octane will do just fine. Continuing on down, you will find your LED tail lamps as well as dual exhaust at the bottom of your rear valance. You also do have a backup camera right under your black bow tie right here, and you do have your rear facing sensors that go along the bottom of your rear bumper. You got one right here, one right here, one right here, and one right here as well. Let's take a look at the rear end of the Blazer. It looks very, very sporty, and I'll show you guys the rear valance here real quick. It is in black. It does have a pretty aggressive design with these two like fins right here, one on the passenger side, one on the driver side, and your trailer hitch is hiding behind this right here. As you guys can see, the crack right here, you guys can't take this off. And if you guys do have the 3.5 liter V6 and all-wheel drive, you do have a max tow capacity of 4,500 pounds. But one more thing I wanted to point out before we continue on is that we do have reflectors at the bottom of the bumper as well. But there are a few ways that you can open up the trunk. you can open it up by pushing this button right under here, as well as you do have a button on your key fob. If you push that button twice, it's going to close, but let's leave that open here real quick. We are supposed to have a hands-free liftgate, so all you got to do is put your foot under here, but for some reason it is not responding to me. However, let's just open this right back up, and I'll show you guys the storage space here, because it actually does have a pretty good amount of storage space for the size of this SUV. Opening this up, you will find your spare tire as well as your jack. You have a little cubby on the driver's side, as well as a cubby over here on the passenger side for smaller miscellaneous items. But moving over here, we do have a LED light. Pull on this and your second row seat drops. Pull on this one over here, passenger side, second row seat drops, and you will find a 12-volt power outlet right in there, as well as a hook right here. If you guys want to hang groceries or something like that, you got one on the passenger side, as well as one over here on the driver's side as well. Push that thing back in. Opening this up, you will find your fuse box, but closing that, and you do have two more hooks, both on the driver and the passenger side, and there's a very good amount of storage space back here. With these seats up, I could say you could probably fit 4 or 5, maybe even 6 suitcases back here. Decent sized suitcases at that. But with that said, let's close the trunk and move on. That's the pad that I was talking about. You put your hand under that, you can open up the trunk from the outside. This is the button you would use to close the trunk when the trunk is up. Push that and the power lift gate will close. Again, there is your rear view camera, and you will find your RS badging on the lower right hand corner of the power lift gate, as well as your Blazer all-wheel drive badging over here on the lower left hand corner of your power lift gate. But let's do a little walk around of it before we move into performance. Very, very good looking SUV, very nice looking, especially here blacked out. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Probably would be pretty tough to keep clean in this black exterior paint, but there are a lot of different paint options that you can choose from. But with all that said, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 3.6 liter V6 that makes 308 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. That motor is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 6.3 seconds. And if you guys are wondering about fuel economy, with all-wheel drive, you can achieve 19 miles per gallon in the city and 26 miles per gallon on the highway. However, if you guys do not want the 3.5 liter V6, then you guys do have the option of a 2 liter 4-cylinder. And if you guys do want the V6, you guys do not have to get the Blazer RS. You can get the 3LT, the RS, or the Premier. However, if you guys do get the 2LT, then the 3.6 liter V6 is not an option, and you can only choose from the 2 liter 4-cylinder. But on the 3LT and the Premier, you guys do have the option of getting that 2 liter 4-cylinder if you guys want a little bit better fuel economy. But if you guys are enjoying the video so far today, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really gunning for 10,000 subscribers, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. So, like I said, if you guys are enjoying the video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. But with that said, let's move into the interior. Moving into the interior, like I stated earlier on in the video, you do have keyless access. All you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket and put your finger on here, and the vehicle will open up. But before we move into the interior, a couple things I wanted to show you with the key fob before we moved in is that if you press this lock button here once and hold down on this remote start button, the vehicle will fire up. So that's pretty cool, just a feature that I thought I might point out. But moving into the interior, let's talk about this door panel here real quick. At the top of your door panel, you will find this black plastic piece, and just below that, here is your black metallic trim piece that does wrap around your aluminum door handle, your unlock and lock button, as well as your memory seat adjustment settings. You do have 2 memory seat adjustment settings right there. This part of your door panel right here is leather wrapped, as well as your leather wrapped armrest that's nice and padded, and you will find some accented colored stitching that follows through to your grab handle. And you do have your mirror adjustment settings right here. This will lock your windows to your passengers. You do have a fully automatic up and down window for your driver, but for your other passengers, it is only automatic down. You do not get automatic up. This is a spot to set your umbrella. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but you do have an umbrella right there with an arrow pointing in. So great spot to set an umbrella. Great spot to set a water bottle right here, and a few other miscellaneous items at the bottom of your door panel. This button right here is to control your power liftgate. liftgate, you guys can either open it up to 3/4 or you can open it up fully. So you guys can kind of control that by this dial, or you can turn your power liftgate off. Let's turn it to max, might as well. Push that button, the power liftgate will open up. And here is one of your speakers to your 8-speaker Bose sound system. Stepping in, you will find your Chevrolet door sill that is in aluminum. You do have a power front driver's seat as well as a power front passenger seat, and you also do have 2-way lumbar. But stepping in, let's take a look at our seat. We do have perforated leather going down the center of the seat, and I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick it up, but it's kind of like a hint of red in your perforated leather, and it looks very, very awesome. Red piping right here on your seat bottom, more of that accent colored red stitching also on your seat bottom and on your seat top. But yeah, let's step into the interior. Like I said, I did remote start the vehicle. So all you got to do is, if you step into the vehicle, put your foot on the brake, push the start button once, and the vehicle will turn on here in the interior. But let's turn down the radio first, because I knew that was going to come on. But moving over here, you will find your HVAC vent with some red trim around it. You guys can control it by twisting it to the right. The HVAC vent closes. Twist it to the left, it opens up, and you guys can move it here just like that. Pretty freaking cool, if you ask me. Some more red accented colored stitching that goes across your dash. You do have a leather wrapped dash, but it's only leather wrapped to this point. The rest of it is a plastic material. That is for your forward collision warning. That will flash red. But moving back over to here, these are your headlight controls. So right now we are in headlight controls automatic. This turns your daytime running lights only on. Twist it one more time to the right, and this is your headlights always on. Twist it back over, let's leave it in automatic. Just to the left of that, you push that button and this thing pops out. You guys can raise or lower the brightness of your screen as well as your backlit buttons. So that's what that does. Push that back in, leave that alone. Just below that, you will find your electronic parking brake. So push that, you can engage your parking brake. Put your foot on your brake, push that again, and your electronic parking brake will come off, but let's leave that on. Push it again, and it lets you know that it's coming on with that park light right there. But let's take a look at our steering wheel. We do have a leather wrapped steering wheel with some red accent colored stitching on the inner side of the steering wheel. Black bow tie right there. Cruise control stuff. Forward collision warning right here. That's what this is. Moving back over to here, this is to speak to the vehicle, to hang up on a phone call. You can also pick up from a phone call by pushing that button. These two buttons right here control that screen, as well as the scroll knob also controls that screen. One thing I wanted to mention before we moved on about the steering wheel is that you would normally have a heated steering wheel right here, but the heated steering wheel got discontinued due to the chip shortage, unfortunately. But I believe that the dealers can retrofit a heated steering wheel later on down the line if you guys do want a heated steering wheel. But let's move on to our dash. You will find your analog RPM gauge over here on the left-hand side of your gauge cluster, and just next to that you will find your oil temperature. Like I said, that is your parking brake on. We are in park. We have our compass right here. Here is your analog but digital speedometer, and you do have a digital speedometer readout at the center of that. That is cruise control on. If you come over here and push this button, that cruise control thing will go away. Like I said, there is your digital speedometer readout. However, if you guys do want to change what is going on here at the center, you guys can come over to here with this scroll knob. You can go through your timer, air filter life. This is tire pressure. You also have your remaining oil life, as well as fuel range, instant fuel economy as well. This is your trip information, some more trip information, and there is your speedometer. But you guys can also push this button right here and go in between your different screens. So right now we are in info, audio, navigation, phone, or settings. You guys can go into your options. Like I said, US units. You can go into your sport display theme. You also have your info pages, speed warning, stuff like that. But let's go back to info and let's leave it right here. This is your odometer. We have 19 miles on the vehicle. Battery voltage. This is your coolant temperature, and this is your fuel gauge. And if you guys see that gas pump right there, I'm kind of zoom in here a little bit. You guys can see that the gas has that little arrow right there. That lets you know that your capless filler neck is on the left-hand side of the vehicle. You do have push to start, so all you got to do is have your key fob here on the interior, put your foot on the brake, and push to start. Automatic stop start button on or off right there. Hazard button right here. push that hazard button again. Here is your 8-inch infotainment screen with wireless Apple CarPlay as well as wireless Android Auto. Let's press OK. Go into continue, get your audio information right here. Let's go back to our home screen, phone, navigation, Wi-Fi hotspot. This does have a Wi-Fi hotspot in the vehicle. Users, settings, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Continuing on, you got your different apps, OnStar services, climate control, so you guys can control what's going on here on your climate from your screen, which is pretty cool. Camera button as well as Sirius XM button. This is your home button. Go back on a song, forward on a song, and your volume knob right here. Here's your back button. Over here, you do have an electronic glove box. If you push that, your glove box will open up to reveal a actually very good amount of storage space in that glove box. Closing that, right next to your glove box button, you will find your traction control button. If you guys do want to control the temperature of the interior, you guys will have to twist this knob right here. You guys can see the red. Twist it to the left and it controls the temperature, as you guys can see. Twist it more and now we are on low. You can also twist it to the right to become warmer. If you guys want different temperatures, you do have dual zone climate control, so the person on your passenger side can have it on low, your person on your driver's side can have it on 76 if they so desire. But if you guys both want them to have the same temperature, there is this sync button. And now they are synced. They're both on 76, and the sync button, if you guys do press that, is controlled by the driver. You do have a ventilated front seat as well as a heated front seat. This lets you know the temperature of the interior or what the air conditioning or the heating is blowing at. And here are all your different climate control settings, fan settings, defroster in the front, defroster in the rear, USB-A port, USB-C port, good amount of storage down here for a phone if you guys want to put that phone, business cards, whatever you want to put. Here is your gear shift lever, very notchy, which I actually really like on a vehicle. So park, reverse, you do have your backup camera that pops up, go into neutral, drive, and low. If you guys want to switch in between the gears yourself, this is the upshift button, this is the downshift button. Let's throw her back into park. 2 cup holders right here. You can also set your phone in here like this. Here we are in 2-wheel drive. Switch it to the right, we go into 4-wheel drive. Go back over one more. This is sport mode. Go back one more. This is your off-road mode. Go back one more, and that is tow haul mode. Twist it to the left again, and you guys can see we go in between our different modes. Off-road mode, go one more time. Now we are in sport mode. This is all-wheel drive mode on. Twist it one more time, and this is 2-wheel drive mode on. This will turn on your parking sensors as well as turn them off, and this is your lane centering button. Opening this up, you have a good amount of storage space down in here. You have a USB-A port, a USB-C port, and a 12-volt power outlet right next to those USB-A and USB-C ports. Closing that and moving up to here, you have an auto-dimming rear view mirror. And one thing that you guys obviously can't miss is that this does have the $1,595 Panoramic Moonroof, which I think is a very good option to get, and it's an option that I would definitely get. It definitely just makes the interior feel a lot more open and airy than it would without that. But moving up to here, you do have a vanity mirror with vanity lights, but leave that plastic on. We're not going to mess with that. Same thing for your passenger. Opening this up, you have a great spot to set your sunglasses. I wish more GM vehicles had a sunglass holder like this Blazer does. Universal garage door opener. You got your LED interior lights for both your driver and your passenger. If you guys want all the interior lights to be on, this would be the button you would press. All the interior lights turn on, as you guys can see. If you guys want all those interior lights off again, just push that button again and they all turn off. This button right here, if you guys open up the door, you guys can see that the interior lights do not come on. However, if I close that door again and I push this button, that light will go away, and now when I open up the door, those interior lights will come on. So I would definitely leave that like that, so you have your interior lights to turn on when you open up the vehicle. Here is your OnStar stuff. This lets you know if your passenger airbag is on or off. But yeah, let's take a look one more time before we move into those rear seats. Look at all the red accents on your HVAC vents, on all 4 HVAC vents, red accented colored stitching, more red accent colored stitching up there. And there are a few things that I did want to mention here before we move into those rear seats, and that has to do with the features that this Blazer does come optioned with, because this does have the $1,660 enhanced convenience package that comes with that 8-speaker Bose sound system and memory settings for your driver that includes seat, outside mirrors and steering wheel. So if you guys do get into the vehicle and you press this one, that is your obviously _1 driver. Your seat will adjust to where it needs to be. Your outside mirrors will adjust to what they need to be, as well as your steering wheel will adjust to what it needs to be. And you also have a power steering wheel. So if you guys push that, steering wheel comes out, push that again, that goes back in, and you can bring it up or down. So it is a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel, which is very, very nice. A couple more things that you do get with that enhanced convenience package include front ventilated seats, as well as heated rear outboard seats, which I'll show you guys when we move into those rear seats. But a few safety features that I also did want to talk about here while we are in the front include front pedestrian braking, as well as LED daytime running lights, which I mentioned when we were on the exterior of the vehicle. You also get rear park assist, rear cross traffic alert, lane change alert with blind spot monitoring. You also get lane keep assist with lane departure warning, following distance indicator, automatic emergency braking, and forward collision alert, which is what I mentioned here. That will flash red if you guys do come up to a vehicle too fast. That will flash red and try to kind of catch your attention. So that is your forward collision alert. But yeah, you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, we've talked about what's going on up here in the 2 front seats. So let's move into those rear seats, because I want to show you guys what's going on back there. So moving into these rear seats, we're gonna have to fold them back up. So just grab them, fold them back up. Very easy to do. And let's talk about this door panel here real quick, because it is basically the same exact door panel that you would find on the front. Like I said, you do have automatic down windows, you do not have automatic up windows. But one thing that's interesting that I do want to point out here real quick is that your heated seat button is on your door. So push that and your heated seats will come on. Let's step into the interior here quick. So yeah, heated seat button is right there, which is interesting, as well as fold that seat up here real quick. Your heated seat button is also on this side as well. But moving back over here to our center stack, we do have a 150 watt household outlet, and just to the left of that you have a USB-A port as well as a USB-C port. Above both of those you will find your HVAC vents with some nice aluminum trim, and just below all of that you have a good amount of storage space down in there. If you guys want to set hand sanitizer, snacks, whatever you guys want to put in there, you guys can do so. Just be mindful that it is pretty limited on space. You do have a seat back pocket right here behind the driver, as well as a seat back pocket right here behind the passenger seat. Folding this thing down, you do have 2 cup holders as well as your center fold down armrest. And yeah, these seats are actually pretty comfortable. You can also recline these seats if you guys want to as well, with a pretty good level of reclinability. And that is what my view is of the panoramic moonroof, and that is why I think you guys should get the panoramic moonroof. If not for yourself, for your passengers. Obviously that is an option that you guys can skip if you guys don't use your sunroof very often, but just something I thought I would point out. Here is your mic pickup for your Bluetooth phone. You also have one right there. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, right here as well. So if you guys are talking on the phone, your rear passengers can be heard on that phone call as well. Here is a grab handle as well as a suit holder. So if you guys have suits, you can hang your suit, push that button, your LED interior light comes on, and it is the same over there for your passenger. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, so I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right guys, now you guys will see what it is like to drive the 2022 Chevy Blazer RS. And basically one thing I wanted to say right off the bat is that you really don't have to put your foot that far into the accelerator in order to get up to speed, and to get up to speed quickly. I mean, I'm barely putting my foot on the accelerator right now, and I mean, it just wants to go, which is really, really awesome to see from an SUV of this size, or even from just like an SUV in general, you know what I mean? Very, very sporty feeling, especially considering, you know, you really, like I said, don't have to put your foot that far into the accelerator, and it just wants to go. And I'm not even in sport mode, I'm in 2-wheel drive mode. So we will test out sport mode when we do a little 0 to 60-ish type test. It's not really a 0 to 60 test because it is on a downhill slope, but you can still kind of get the feel of how fast the vehicle is. Another thing I wanted to mention is that this does have the 8-speaker Bose sound system that does come with the enhanced convenience package, and I definitely think that you guys should get the enhanced convenience package because of that Bose sound system. It sounds very, very good. And like I said in all the videos that I've made with GM vehicles, all their Bose sound systems sound very, very good. I mean, it is a Bose sound system after all. So yeah, another thing I wanted to mention is that the steering is very precise. One thing that's nice is when I do this, there is a little bit of body roll. However, there's not like a ton of body roll. So we will throw this thing into sport mode. Let's do that here right now. Might as well, right? Now we are in sport mode. Let's see if that messed with the suspension at all. Doesn't feel like it did. But still, that's more for throttle response and stuff like that. We'll throw it right back into 2-wheel drive mode. As we come up to this light, we're gonna take a right. All right, we're good to pull out. Let's go over these bumps, see how it handles them. Handles them very well, and it's not like too chattery, which is good as well. You know, sometimes you go over bumps in certain vehicles and like it just like sounds really loud on the interior. After going on that bump, not too loud, but there are a few more bumps up here that we will see. We'll see what it does, because you can't just judge it by one bump. Here is another bump. Let's test it out. Took those bumps very well as well. Let's go over these bumps. Still taking the bumps very, very well. Like I said, it's not too loud and chattery. Here is another one, and it takes it just very, very well. You know, it's very comfortable going over those bumps. It's not like too firm of a suspension, which is awesome. And you know, the steering feel is very, very good, very, very tight. So yeah, pretty cool. You know, I'm barely even like moving the steering wheel all that much, and you can feel the inputs, which is really cool. Especially, you know, like I said, on an SUV like this. You know, it doesn't have a V8, but still, that 3.6 liter V6 is still plenty powerful. You know, yeah, like I said, it's not a supercharged V8 or something like that. But if you guys are looking for a sportier SUV that actually gets pretty decent gas mileage, like I said, this does get 19 miles per gallon in the city and 26 miles per gallon on the highway, which is fairly fuel efficient for a vehicle with all-wheel drive and 308 horsepower. So pretty good if you ask me. So let's take a right, get in this lane, and we're going to take a right, and we're going to hop onto the highway. Let's throw her into sport mode for maximum acceleration capabilities. So take a right here, and we'll test her out and see if she's quick. Haven't not floored this thing yet, so we will be experiencing a full throttle acceleration here together. Come up to as close to the stop as we can, and let's mat it. Good torque, sounds pretty good. 62, 66, 67. Pretty good acceleration, and it sounds pretty good as well. Throw her back into 2-wheel drive mode. Hop in this lane. You know, pretty quick, and it sounded pretty good as well. So yeah, you know, nothing to complain about quickness wise. It's pretty quick. Transmission shifts were pretty good as well. Let's see how it handles at the highway speeds. And we're just cruising, and it, you know, it's cruising very, very nicely. The suspension is a little bit firm. It's not like super firm, but you can definitely feel that it is a little bit firm. But it still rides very, very well. Getting off on this exit here. Let's summarize this a little bit. It took the bumps very, very well. It accelerates very, very well. You're not going to expect Trackhawk acceleration out of the Blazer RS. However, it still has very good acceleration for what it is. I wanted to go over the MSRP here real quick. And the MSRP of the way that this Blazer is spec'd is $49,415. You guys can get this Blazer to be a little bit more expensive if you guys do option for some other options, some other packages and stuff like that. But I think this thing is actually pretty well spec'd, and you don't really need much more than this. If you guys want a 360-degree view camera, you guys can get those additional packages for additional prices. But like I said, I think you have a pretty good, well-equipped vehicle here at $49,000. So with that said, it's not the cheapest vehicle. However, you still get a pretty good amount of options for the money. Handles very well. brakes are very, very good. If you guys come up to a stop, we'll test those brakes again here real quick. Very responsive brake pedal, which is I really like, especially if you're going to consider this like a sporty version of the Blazer. Pretty much instant bite. As soon as you put your foot on the brake pedal, it pretty much brakes immediately, and it's got really nice bite to it, if that makes sense. I know that'll make sense to my car enthusiasts, but basically what it means is that it brakes pretty hard right at the top of the pedal, which is very, very good. I really like the Blazer. You know, like I said, it's not the fastest vehicle in the world. However, it looks very, very good. The steering feel is very, very sporty. Like I said, basically as soon as you turn it, it kind of points in that direction, which is awesome. Brake pedal feel is very, very good. The acceleration is pretty good as well. It actually sounds surprisingly good for what it is. But yeah, that's the end of today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm really gunning for 10,000 subscribers, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. So if you guys did enjoy the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. But with that said, I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.
Seem like every captain gotta maintain the cap. You can make change, don't change for that. Tell the whole truth, get paid for that. Bet you never fall off, you was made for that. You gotta be who you really be, shine from the inside. Cause they ain't really who they say on the outside.